Hey, y'all, welcome back to the channel, man. Thank you for sticking tight with us, holding on to us. Welcome to Adventures in Trucking. We have a couple of announcements. We are not out of business. We have still been running the entire time that we've been away. We got a couple of things we're going to share with you guys, a couple of big announcements. So we've made some changes, but in a nutshell, I Shot Shorty been holding it down. He's been running Tia, as you guys know. This is Tia. Um, he's been running the truck. I've been kind of not running with him so much, and honestly, he's been running about 8 or 9, 10 months by himself. Uh, I may have done a half dozen trips on him, and in that time frame, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But Hot Shot Shorty been holding down and keeping it between the ditches. So we have been running. We have made some changes. We're looking to still make more changes. But the major thing is that Tia's still on the road. She's still riding. She got good tires on her. We had all the aluminum polished on it. Had the toolbox polished out. All of the diamond plate along the top edge here. Had the wheels polished out on it. Like I said, he been running. So, we're on to the next set of tires now. I did go to a closed shoulder lug style tread like this. Um, just because with it obviously being a single axle truck and not necessarily having tandems where I can lock together, I prefer this kind of tread. If we're delivering construction material, pipe, building supply, whatever, you gotta go to a job site. Prefer to have a little bit more traction. This truck does have an anti-spin differential in the rear, and it will lock up very quickly. When you start turning the truck, you can feel it start locking up. So that's great. It works quick and it works fast and it works very positively. We got actually a little bit bigger tire in the front. We had a little bit of an experiment here. So the front tire is a different size than the rear. That is a 295 75 22.5. It's a very big tire for this truck. Bigger than what I'm going to keep on here. In fact, I'm going to end up taking these off. But they got great tread. These tires are brand new. I don't know, maybe 3 months old, 4 months old. But I'm going to take them off and go back down to the same size that is on the rear. So the rear is a 275 70. The front is a 295 75. So these tires on the front are about 2-3 inches taller than the rear tires. So it's not a huge thing, but eventually I will go back to the smaller size to match the rear to get the truck profile right and sitting level. Um, we've had some issues. I had to have a windshield put in the truck, and man, I'm gonna tell you, we have put 4 windshields in this truck. This is the fourth one, and it's still leaking. I got to do something different. This shop that did this here is just not good. I'm not gonna call out any names, but I will not be reusing them. I had this windshield put in the truck, and when they put the windshield in the truck and had to remove the first windshield, they wanted to reuse this gasket. I go to pick the truck up, and you can see this black plastic was sitting up off of this white windshield frame by 3/8 of an inch. Like you could see light up underneath of there. So it leaked. They did finally pull that windshield out. He was trying to reposition it and whatever. It broke, which I was glad to see because I wanted another windshield after that. I didn't want them trying to re-glue another windshield that they already glued and have a whole bunch of issues there. So they ended up breaking that windshield. Had to put another windshield in here. So fourth windshield right here. And they did put a new gasket around it. But one of the other times they were changing this windshield out, and the tool they used to remove this seal and the sealer that's underneath of it, he gouged this cowl right here. This cowl right across here, from this side all the way to that side, it looked like a zipper. Went right across there because the tool that he used to remove it, he gouged this all the way across here. So I had to have the cowl repainted. I did have the truck in the shop for some other maintenance items, and they had to actually take the hood off. And they stood it on its grill on the forks of a forklift, and this part of the hood was up against the heading rack of the forklift. Had 2 scratches up there, so the whole hood's been repainted. Hey man, it's tough to keep a truck together. It's tough to keep a truck on the road. I'll be honest with you, it's not great. Um, Area imperfections in it. One, for example, look at this pimple right here. Just not good. Now he tells me this is an industrial paint. It's on super thick, and I can tell that it is thick. But I got this pimple right here. It's got runs in it here and there. This is just kind of not what I had envisioned for Tia. I think there's another run along here. Yeah. You can see where it kind of raised up, where the paint settled. Hopefully that shows up on camera right there, but you can see that right there. And there's 2 or 3 spots like that over the hood, but it is what it is, man. You know, I'm straddling the razor's edge, trying to have a personal truck and a work truck. So a lot more work goes into maintaining a personal vehicle. You know, when we take this truck and pull the camper with it, you know, I'm not working, so I don't want it to just be a beat up work truck that I'm trying to pull my camper with. So just trying to maintain, man. It's always something going on, but Tia is still still out there getting the job done, and you know, we already got a couple things lined up here for week after next, and then yeah, we'll still off the road this week and get a couple of maintenance items taken care of. You know, before the end of this week, hit it strong at the first of next week. Um, we'll be back on the next installment. And we'll show you what's next. All right, so next installment, y'all. So here is one of the announcements. If you guys been following us for a while, you'll know that you know we were at a different location, and you will notice that the house behind me is not the house that may have been in the background of our previous videos. So we have moved. We have made a change in locations uh, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was just costing me a lot of money to be able to park my truck and trailer, and even though we didn't have a homeowners association within the subdivision, I was still getting some complaints about parking Tia in the driveway beside the house, to the rear of the house. Had a Karen that just had a problem with it, and you know what? Thank gosh for her for opening my eyes. So we have moved out to the country, y'all. We country now. So this is a new homestead. This is a new homestead. We bought this house September of last year, and that's why we've been away from filming so much. Hot Shot Shorty's been running on the road by himself. I'm not saying you can't film by yourself, but that's not really the format of our channel. And you know, he's having to do everything: drive, dispatch, book loads. You know what I mean? Answer calls, fueling. You know, maintenance on the side of the road, tires, and so on and so forth. So you know, filming just became a little too much as a one-man show. But you know what? One man gang. Hot Shot Shorty, he held it together. Shout out to him. He holding it down. So we got plans, y'all. We got plans. But this is a new place, new to us. We call it the family homestead now. So we have some property here that allows me to be able to park the truck and all the trailers, and you know, here on the property, and not have to pay for parking. It's been a blessing. I mean, I was paying almost $6,000 a year just for parking. I think it was like $5,900 I was paying just for parking. So you know, we're here, which my wife has always worked from home, so she's still able to work from home from here. She doesn't have to. She didn't get called back into the office even prior to COVID. She was already working from home. She's worked from home for like 9 years. So, in any event, this is a new place. You know, we've been doing renovations on the house. Um, New roof on the house. Well, we did change the color of the shutters and the front door, but the base color and the white trim is all the same. We still got more modifications we want to do. We really went through and kind of did a full reno on the inside of the house. So that will lead us to our next little Easter egg. All right, so here we are with the next small announcement. This is our new fifth wheel camper. Uh, we actually Yeah, we got this at the end of June of last year. So, reason of this is that we were always into camping. You know, we had a tour hauler, travel trailer style tour hauler that we used to pull with this truck. It was 32 feet that we used to pull with cane. And of course, when we upgraded to Tia, I knew then that I wanted a fifth wheel. So this is a fifth wheel toy hauler that we got. Just want to show you guys why. So this maybe will make sense to some folks that have been with us for a long time. You'll know that the consensus when I bought Tia was that, hey, you could have bought a big rig for a lot less money. Yep, absolutely could have. Absolutely could have spent a lot less money and had a lot more truck. But the reason I bought Tia and the reason I bought the truck that I have that truck is because I knew I was going to be moving to this setup, and I don't want to be going to campgrounds with Class A Peterbilt or Freightliner or Kenworth or whatever. You know, I don't want to be going to the campgrounds looking like a work truck. So that was the reason behind that truck. That truck fits my needs for what I want to do perfect. It will allow us to do freight. It allows me to play on the weekends, whether we take the toy hauler, whether we take, whatever, race car trailer, one car trailer or whatever, that truck kind of fills the role what this truck did, just obviously a bigger truck. So this is the 44 foot, I think it's 44 feet, right at 44 feet 1 inch, I think is what it is. But it's a fifth wheel toy hauler, so this allows us to get into the other things that we do with after curricular activities. So that was a look at the family compound, family homestead. This is the reason that we moved out here. This is our little piece of slice of heaven here, and this allows me to be able to park all of my equipment on my property. Should have done this 5-10 years ago. But anyhow, as you can see behind me, this is a new addition to the fleet. This is the 2012 Freightliner Cascadia. So you guys know I name all of my trucks, and this one is called Cassie because it's a Cascadia. So we got Tia over there, and then we got Cassie and Kane being the original. So Cassie is our new setup to be able to run full 80K GVW. We got the truck. Actually, we got that trailer first. We got the trailer, what, how should I show, about a month before we got the truck, didn't we? So we got the trailer, which is an aluminum combo step deck with a Fontaine trailer. Well, we got 53, 51 feet?
53.
53 foot aluminum combo with aluminum top deck, steel beams, wood flooring, of course, wood inserts in the flooring. But it's got a lot of stuff on it, man. We are excited to have this trailer. We're excited to be moving up to the big rig level. You guys know, we've been in we've been in Tia, running her up and down the road. And as I mentioned earlier, just, working that truck with this trailer. This is a Diamond C trailer right here. So working that truck with this trailer, this is work. And then as also shown earlier, the fifth wheel is play. So I was able to do both with that truck. I didn't want to be using this Cassie Freightliner Cascadia to pull my camper into the campground, going here or there, whatever, with quote unquote the work truck. So that was the reason to go with Tia, the sport chassis first. And sometimes things just kind of unroll that way. So it unrolled that, I moved to that truck before this truck. But, I've had big trucks before in the past. I've had Volvo trucks and full-size Freightliners. And, I had a medium-duty F7 650 Ford that had a similar type bed on the back of it. I had Kane. So I had all different size trucks at the same time. So this is not new to me. Like I said, I've had big trucks before, so this is it. Of course, air ride. It's got you got spread on here, girl. With 6 foot spread?
10.
10-foot spread on the rear axle, running 17.5s.
Yeah.
No, that's a 6-foot spread.
No, this is I mean, when you spread that out, it's 10.
Okay, so
that's
yeah,
probably
so
close
the rear
to
axle slides, and then that will slide back to there, which will give us the 10-foot spread. Right now, we got the spread closed up on it. But this trailer, as you see it, it's got the chain pocket. So you can kind of chain right onto these and not have to go around your aluminum pockets here. So these are your chain drops.
Container locks.
It's got the container racks built into it, the container locks. So this one you can put either 40-footer on the bottom or you can do 220s. So these here will push up so you can lock into your container. You set the container on here, push them up and give it a turn. That locks your container onto the trailer.
No straps, no chain.
Yep, you don't have to strap it, you don't have to chain it, set them down on here, get it lined up, lock them down. So as you see in the middle of the trailer, there'll be 2 of them close together. And that is for if you have 2 20-foot containers on here. So the front container obviously will lock from here forward to the front cleat. And then the rear container locks from this one backwards for the rear if you have 2 20s on here. It did come with the HD ramps on the side, so we're excited to have those, the heavy-duty ramp kits, and these are the 16-footers. So There's two ramps on this side, and then the support legs in the middle, and then the other two that make your full 16 feet on the other side of the trailer. So you guys know I'm really a fan of my chicken lights, and this trailer already came lit with lights all the way down the side, just like we did Diamond C trailer. So it's got all the little 3/4 inch penny lights running the full length of the trailer down the side. Mirror finished stainless steel box there. More penny lights up here. So the whole, side of the trailer is lit. It really looks good at nighttime. I love it. We'll go around the other side and look at the, I guess, the other set of ramps that are over there and show you what else is going on over on that side. So here we are on the other side of the trailer now. This is the driver's side. It does have your second box over here, but these are not the mirror polished stainless steel on this side. This is just aluminum finish here. They hit them with the brightness, so it whitened them up. But that's fine. Sliding winches, you move those out the way so you can get to your doors down here. This is the other set of ramps that you add to the first set, and that gives you the full 16 feet off of the back, so you can get long vehicles on here. You can get very low clearance vehicles on here.
RVs, buses.
You can do buses, RVs, limos. I don't know if you guys, maybe some of you guys have been with us for a while. You may have seen our video where we had to get a Sprinter van, a long wheelbase Sprinter van with a long tail after the rear axle. We did get it on the Diamond C, and it took some work, but y'all know, man, we do what it takes, and 99% of the time I get them. So we did get that van on here on that trailer, and we had a mini excavator behind it. That was a cool load. So yeah, all the other features here, of course, it is on air ride. Like I said, it does have these spread out where you can slide the rear. You just got them closed up right now. It's got the auto fill on the tires. With the tire inflation system. This thing's lit up like that on New Year's back here, man. This got probably 20 daggone lights across there.
I had to get the key.
14 lights across the back. Actually, 16. These are lights here as well. So yeah, I think my number's right. It's 16, counting these two. So these actually also blink, and these are two-sided. So even in the truck, when this turn signal is on back here, I can see this from inside the truck. Let me know my turn signal is blink because it's two-sided light. Really cool. I like that. So, we bought this from an owner-operator here in Georgia. And, y'all know, as owner-operators, we like all the bells and whistles, and we like all of the lights and chicken lights and chrome. So, heck, I forgot about these. Like even those lights light up right there. But we're excited, man. We're excited to get this one on the road. We're really close. Maybe in the next month or so, we should have it on the road. Hot Shot Shorty's got a friend that we're gonna bring on, and we'll get him trained up, and we'll move on to the next level. So just a little drop here. We'll probably have Hot Shot Shorty pull this trailer with his truck. When we get his truck, we'll move that trailer over to this truck and have our driver pull this setup. I'm going to put the gooseneck back on the back of Tia, so that'll give us 3 trucks, 3 trailers, and that's going to be the configuration until we plus up from there. And you guys stick with us, man. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate the love and support. But we are still trying to grow. We just have been so busy and literally had to stop filming this in the middle of this, which you won't be able to tell, but had to stop filming in the middle of this because I had an appointment with pest control, trying to track down some varmint. So anyhow, it's always something going on. I'm always busy. Honestly, it's a full-time job just to maintain this property to my standard. You guys know that have been with us for a while. My standard is maybe I would say higher than most, maybe exceedingly high. I don't know, but that's the standard that I maintain, and that's just a requirement around here. So I can't have this kind of property and just let it go unkept. So we got some future work coming up here in the next week or two for the race car trailer over there. So back to hauling the exotics in that. We have picked up some local customers since we moved out here to the country. And so I literally got a shipper that's 5 minutes from my house. And honestly, I can get a load out of there 4 or 5 days out of the week if I need. So we've been using that to just, get out of town with a load for him. We'll be able to now send 2 trucks in there. Of course, when I get that set up back on the road, then we'll be able to send 3 trucks out here and get back in the lanes and get up and down the highway like we need to so we can be profitable. You guys know, man, for me, for us, we're always trying to maintain a very strict regimen on how we do things. We try to maintain things to a very high standard. Um, you know, before I put this trailer back on the road, I'm probably gonna refloor this trailer, the gooseneck trailer. So we'll end up having to pull some of the boards out of it. Some of them are soft, and while actually all the boards are there, you see some of them peeling up where the bolts are broke loose and all that. And so I'll probably end up just pulling all those boards out of that trailer. But this gooseneck trailer has got all brand new brakes, all brand new drums, and all brand new lighting. The lighting in this trailer is brand new from the gooseneck to the tip. It's all brand new. I would say it's probably a year and a half old, which, it's been sitting, kind of honestly, it's been sitting for the last year and a half, 2 years. But this trailer will be going back to work, back on Tia. And when I switch this trailer over to Tia, I can go back to my double articulated head and still pull this trailer. Right now, I have to change to a commercial style single pivot head that just pivots front to back like a commercial fifth wheel when I pull the step deck trailer. But once we get this all reconfigured over here, I'm going to go back to running this trailer on Tia, and I can put my double articulated, double pivot head back on Tia, and I don't have to change that hitch every time I pull the fifth wheel trailer. So right now, the way that it's set up, if we've been running the Diamond C all week, and then I'm going out on whatever, Friday evening, Saturday morning with the toy hauler, I have to change the hitch head on the truck. It takes me about an hour to do it. So I'll be glad to get back up underneath of this one so that I don't have to change the hitch head on the truck. And once I go to that double articulated head, I can still pull the race car trailer with it. So these two trailers will primarily be pulled by Tia. So that's the update, guys. You want to maybe give them one more pan around the property, Hot Shot Shorty, and just show them the property here is, I guess, kind of halfway semi freshly cut, but it's 6.5 acres, and we're able to keep all the trailers here and all of the trucks here. So this is base operations now. We're gonna break for a minute, and then we'll get the truck set up on the inside so we can show you the inside of the truck. Okay, so as we said, this is the Freightliner Cascadia. This is 2012. So it is not a brand new truck, and some of the things that we were interested in when we got this truck were, number one, we wanted double bunks, and this truck has that. Hot Shot Shorty wanted a 13-speed. That was something that we were willing to make a concession on. Being that this is not going to be the truck that he drives permanently, we were willing to make a concession on that. I don't mind the Super 10 transmission. I mean, I've had Super 10s in the past, and, for me, it's old hat. The main reason that we went with this truck is because these trucks originally came with a DD15 in them, and this one does not have that. This truck has a tried and true. There it is. Detroit Diesel Series 60. And this one is turned up to 500 horsepower. Not heavy haul specs, but for what we run, this is going to be plenty. It runs strong. It runs good. The AC in here blows ice cold. Everything on the truck works as it should. And just to kind of get back a minute to where a lot of flack I was getting when I bought Cassie, you are absolutely correct. I bought this truck and this trailer for half of what I paid for Tia, the sport chassis. I got the truck and trailer for half of what I paid for that truck. But you know what? I've been doing this for a while, and I know that all things work out in due time and in their own time. So here we are. The truck, it's not perfect. It's got some dings and dents on and stuff like that. But, that's the case with a 12, 13-year-old truck. It does run strong, and, we're not seeing any crazy, horrible leaks or anything like that. We did have to get a couple issues straightened out on. I think I had to put a frame. I had to replace 2 cross members on the frame. I don't know what else we had to have done to it. How should I show you? Had to get the air brakes, the airline worked on going to the trailer. Very minor stuff. So, it runs good, it runs strong, and I think this is going to be a welcome addition to the team, to the fleet. And we're glad to have it. So I don't have to deal with none of the emission stuff, DPF, DEF. It's a 99 engine that's been remanned. So
Paper logs.
it runs strong. I think it's got about 230,000 on it since the end frame.
Yeah.
230, I think it's 225, 230 since the end frame. And it runs strong.
Paper logs.
Hot Shot Shorty reminded me, because of the year of the engine, we don't have to do electronic logs. In fact, you can't hook it up to it because the engine's too old and it'll mess up the electronics on the engine. It just doesn't work with it. So this truck is paper logs. Not that that's been an issue for us, what I'm saying? We team drive, we drive 22 out of 24 hours in a day. So at that point, anybody's gonna want to get out the truck, including us. We'll move on to the inside. I'm gonna let him go on this side. I'm gonna come in the other side. All right, so this is the interior of the truck, and I'm just being honest, it's not anything special. It's all just standard stuff in here. One of the things that I did appreciate is that, I've been in trucks like this before, and a lot of dash is cracked and missing and broken. And while we do have some broken spots in here, I guess he has some sort of tablet mount here, or maybe a GPS or something. I don't know, maybe, before you had the older engine here, maybe you had some sort of ELD or something here. I don't know what that was for, but everything is here in the truck and it just needs to be cleaned up. So I'm kind of particular about, again, my standard and how I like to maintain things and where I want them to be cleanliness wise. So this truck is how we bought it. We haven't gone through here to wipe anything down yet. We haven't done getting the road grime off of it and that sort of thing. The only thing I've done is take the back covers off the mattresses and wash them off. And I have set off bed bug fogger in here, as well as a regular just insect fogger, because that's just standard practice for me when I buy somebody else's truck. But it came with the CB in it. We'll show me the CB up there, Hot Shot Shorty. Oh man, that's got all the bells and whistles on that. For anybody that's still in the CBs, I don't really do CBs a whole lot. It does have the external speaker here for the CB. We got overhead storage. Gosh, it's just, we looked at a lot of trucks. We looked at Kenworths, and they had those. Gosh, what engines those had in those things? The Packard, which is a Cummins engine with Peterbilt intakes and tops on them, and I just wasn't a fan of those. Not to mention the emissions garbage is on them. So we got overhead storage up here, which is really deep. You can see that, but there's probably 8 inches in depth. Going to the back of your storage there. Then you got storage bins up top, storage bins over here. Let me see if I can turn some lights on in here.
I'd hit the master switch.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can reach that master switch. Maybe that gives you enough light, at least some light anyway. Like I said, this is how we bought the truck. We haven't cleaned it out, but we got our storage closet here. A little bit of storage, hanging storage space in there for things. Smaller storage in here. I think this is where your TV on that side. So anyhow, this is just your step to be able to get up to the top bunk. This is your fridge storage down here. But there was no fridge that came with this truck. He did leave us the microwave and the TV. So for what it's worth, man, that's a 20-inch. How should I show you? 20-inch?
Yeah.
21-inch. Flat screen LG TV in here. Swings back out of the way. A little microwave over there. That's not up to my standard. We'll reconfigure that a little bit better setup. More storage up top here. Like folding space storage or whatever. So I'll just give you some little storage space up top. And of course, all under bunk storage down here. And more storage under there. So this is a lot more storage than what we're used to in in the other truck. So, and the fact that we have double bunks in here now, that's an upgrade for us. So yeah, you see stuff in here. He even left us a safety vest and a hard hat and some armor off for the tires. He did leave the inverter in here, which I think is 3,000 watts. This is the inverter down here. It does work. I've used it. So he did leave us that inverter down here. That's super cool. And then we got our top bunk up here. And, that will fold up if you want to be able to fold it up. But, you know what? Hot Shot Shorty been grinding it out in the other truck. And so now we'll both be able to sleep in here on an actual bed. Love him, man, for looking out for his pop. He done did above and beyond. He's a great son. He takes care of me. So I love them for that. Guys, this is where we are now. It's getting kind of hot in here. Probably got me looking like a Krispy Kreme donut here, glazed. But, you know, there is AC vents back here that run. You know, the engine has to be running. This truck does not have an APU on it. But because I don't have none of the emission stuff on here, I don't have to worry about clogging up my DPF. So while it may not be the most cost-effective option, we can run the truck now. Hot Shot Shorty spent the summer in Tia without running the truck for air conditioning. So, hey man, we get it done. Okay, don't ask no whole bunch of questions. Just do the job, and that's what we do. So that's what he done. I'm proud of him. We gonna hit the road in this bad boy right here in a couple of weeks. So hopefully we can get this one on the road here in about a month. I'm hoping 2 to 3 weeks, but maybe a month. He even left us the little sexy girls up in the dash. I keep them. That's my quintet up there. What was it, quartet? That's my quartet. I gotta name the girls, but they ride with us too.
You got the tall shifter.
So here's your shifter on here. How should I show you like that? Is I don't think they're normally this tall, but it is a tall one, and I do like shifting, not gonna lie. Correction from earlier, this is a standard 10 speed, it's not a super 10. That's my bad. It is a standard 10, so it's 5 on the low side, shift in the high range, and then 5 on the top side. Yeah. Got Jake brakes in here, of course. Separate trailer brake handle up here. The stereo system does work. AC works. Already got auxiliary power outlets for all the things that we drivers need to have on the road. I just need to clean it up. And get it to the standard that is required. So, man, that's our next move. We'll keep you guys in the loop on what we're doing, on what's happening next, and we will let y'all know when we get our first load with this truck and trailer.